And it's got you.
Now, I don't know if everybody's seen this about Beyonce saying what she said about the wearing the shirt about the Buffalo Soldiers, and how it said that the Native Americans are enemies of peace with the Buffalo Soldiers. Now, I want to clarify a few things, because if y'all don't know who the real Indians are, that's the problem. These Mongols, these Russian Siberians that call themselves Native American, are fakes. First of all, they know that they're not really Native American. They know that they're not American Indian. And the reason why they are enemies of peace, or enemies to black people, is because they went with white people and stole the identity of black people. They have been getting millions of dollars that was supposed to be given to the American Indian, who is the black man. These so-called Native Americans went a warring with the true Indians. They call us Buffalo Soldier. Why would they call us Buffalo Soldiers? Why? Because the Indians, that was their source of food, the buffalo, the clothes they wore, right? The things that they had on them. The buffalo was the source of a lot of American Indians' establishment and trading with the fur trade, right? That brought a lot of wealth to American Indian, and also a lot of terror, because there were other Spanish and Portuguese and other people who wanted to get in on this fur trade, and they wind up enslaving a lot of American Indian. And this is not discussed. So these so-called Native American are in fact enemies, because they continue to lie using blood quantum, using one drop rule in the Dow's rule. They continue to use the name of black Indians to be on these reservations, knowing damn well they ain't got no business being on those reservations, because in fact they are not American Indian at all. They know it. There has already been scientists who correlated these Siberians to these Mongols to Siberia. They know they do not belong to this landmass. Mexico, Bunampuk, and several other I can't say the names to some of them, in Mexico as well as in the U.S., where they have found aboriginals, the Puspatuk, the Shinnecock, the I can't think of all their names, the Algonquins. All of these tribes, even Hernandez de Soto, talk about tall black Indians that he warred with. And here you go seeing these Mongols who aren't black at all. And they don't have phenotypes of Ethiopians, right? Or Africans, if you will. And so we are here standing reclassified in 1824 to people of color, all else freed. Okay, freedmen. Right? That washed away the identity first. And then what helped wash away our identity secondly was the 1924 Racial Integrity Act, which was implemented nationwide. That's why in every nation you find people being called Negro, color, and black. As it said on the fourth page of the article of the 1924, if I'm saying that right, the fourth or third page of the 1924 Racial Integrity Act, which literally states we will no longer cast these people as Indian, but Negro, colored, and black, right? We will no longer cast them as Indian. We won't call them that anymore, but Negro, color, and black. And so people have to understand that they don't even, Beyonce, I don't think said anything wrong, but at the same time she's also misinformed, right? Because the Buffalo Soldiers are the American Indians who are fighting the Mongolians who dared to ally with white people against them. Okay? We are the Indians. Those Native Americans are not. Let's go ahead and play that video.
So hot at Beyonce and black people just as a whole, which is interesting. So
because black people don't know history. If they understood that those Native Americans were an enemy, they would know.
If they participated,
they went to Indian schools to learn agriculture and how to plant in American land.
The natives were hostile savages and enemies of peace. That's how they convinced them, along with the lies and promises. It was just propaganda. They were being tricked by a system that enslaved them.
No, they weren't. That didn't happen.
To help that empire further
Well,
expand
to enslave.
and build and
Right.
oppress.
Right, it
all
did
under a
enslave us
guise.
back under.
They were manipulated.
Right.
Beyonce wore that shirt to bring awareness to the manipulation,
Right.
to the
Lies.
hypocrisy of the U.S. government. She's not siding with colonizers. She's actually
the Native Americans
informing
are
the people
colonizers.
how Black and natives were used.
No,
and
you
pitted
mean
against each other because they
Native
were lied to.
American
The
Indians
real enemies
and natives.
are not natives and Black people. Who do you think it is?
No.
So I'm seeing all the Native Americans talk about Beyonce and her shirt. And I want to be nice because I've been an activist on pretending Indians, but we need to talk about the Native Americans that actually had slaves. And a lot of you guys make a lot of jokes about
Indian slaves, because we are not African, right? So after we lost our identity and they stole it, right? They began again. Our land was taken over. A lot of us was ran off our land from the Ku Klux Klan, and we were forced, right? We were exiled out of many of our towns and ran refugees to other states where these Native American and whites now had our land and businesses in different states. So now you have to work because you lost everything you own. And guess who had the jobs available? The ones who stole the land, the whites and the Mongols. So that's what transpired. Go ahead, let me go ahead.
Princesses, but Cherokees are a civilized tribe that had Black slaves. There were 5 civilized tribes. And I will...
Yes and no, right? Because y'all gotta understand, at one point in time, them so-called Mongols, those so-called Native Americans, were actually slaves to us. During the time of the Trail of Tears, see, some of the confusion was that just because you see Black people with them, we were the slave. Who said that? How do you know they weren't slaves? Right? So y'all gotta understand that. White people will tell you anything, and so will they. Native Americans, so-called Native Americans, though Mongols, do not want to give our identity back. They have been getting... imagine how much money they will owe the government if it got out that that America has been paying these pretendians all these years, have been paying them millions of dollars, and they're not even the Aboriginals to America. They're not. And America knows this. America knows who we are. America knows who we are.
I'd like to see the DNA test of all the Native Americans on this app.
It's the same
that pick on the descendants of Cherokee slaves.
No.
Like I know a lot.
These Native Americans make me sick because they know the truth of the matter is they do not belong to America. Do not belong to America at all. And what's so sick about it is that they continue to parade themselves around like they belong to America, and that's the problem. Anyway, this is Kendra with True TV. Y'all go ahead and check these channels out. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. Stay up, stay first. Put God first above all else. Peace out. Bye.